So, Sukie, today was your MRI.
Mm.
Tell your adoring fans what the heck went on.
It was really weird. Um, Basically, I had to have a I had to have a local anaesthetic, and then they got big needle, and they had to with the use of an X-ray machine, they had to guide this needle down in through to my hip joint, so they could inject I don't know, a fluid, a dye or something like that, so they could clearly see the hip joint in the MRI. Um, and this needle is really strange. Even though my leg was sort of like numb and my hip was numb, I could still feel it moving, and I could still feel it like popping through the layers of muscle, and I could feel it pinching and pressure, and it was horrible. And I was shaking like mad because I don't like needles as it is, especially big needles. Hello, Ree. And so I was shaking like a leaf, and I think they must have thought I was probably having some kind of seizure because I was shaking so bad because I was so nervous. But then I went from there into the MRI, then into the big scanner. And for those who have had MRIs before, they will understand when I say it's not pleasant, it's freaky as hell. Um, because on the letter beforehand, and they told me as well, it says anyone that has metal implants, this MRI can be life threatening because the MRI machine has big, powerful magnets, because it's a magnetic imaging machine, basically. Um, so I've got metal implants, I've got metal in my spine, I've got metal holding my ribs together. So that kind of like, I was just thinking about that. Well, what's going to happen? Is the magnet going to attract those, and then they're going to be ripped out of my body or something? And I just kept thinking about that, and it was kind of freaking me out a little bit. But I'm the type of person just to grin and bear it and get through it. So I was like laid in that MRI machine for like, what was
Nearly
it?
2 hours.
Oh yeah, I was gone for like 2 hours, and the whole time I'm tensed up, like shaking, trying to stop myself shaking, because obviously you've got to stay very still in the MRI, otherwise they can't get a clear picture, and then it takes longer. So I'm all tensed up and trying not to shake and move and whatnot. And they gave me these headphones to put on that play music through, but I could still hear the imager, the MRI machine, making all its weird noises. Sounds like a giant printer or something, if you imagine like the noise a printer makes.
Or
One of
like a
those old,
digga 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 digga
yeah,
digga
one
digga.
of those really old style printers.
Yeah, I
It's
did
like
say that
really
in a.
loud.
I said that in a previous video and said no, they put those sounds in on the television.
A lot of the time they do,
Yeah, but
because
that was the sound of it. I know
I've
how
had
an MRI
MRIs
sounds.
before, and it's not been that bad. But then I suppose it's a slightly different MRI I was having today, so maybe it's more intense, so more noise, I suppose. But yeah, it was really weird. But when I come out, when they finally finished taking all their scans and whatnot, they pulled me out in the machine, and because I had been tensed up and my legs had been tensed up for like what, over an hour, 2 hours, my legs were aching and they had gone like jelly. And also because of the local anaesthetic, my legs were still feeling numb, and I was like couldn't walk. So they got me a wheelchair and wheeled me out. But yeah, it wasn't pleasant, but I'm glad I've got it all over and done with now, and I'm glad I did do it because it was important. So, but now I've got a pretty big plaster on my hip covering the hole where the big needle went. Um, and it's all red and swollen and achy, and my leg feels really, really, really weird. So does my hip. It feels like, I don't know, I can't describe it. It's sort of crampy, and it feels like it's going to pop out a joint at any second, or it feels like it is out of joint and it's trying to pop back in, but there's something stopping it, kind of thing. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it properly,
Like
but
a tense cramp.
kind of. I
Like
don't.
a dull ache, but like something's there.
Kind of, yeah. And like I'm limp when I walk. I limp, and I feel like I'm gonna fall over. That's why I'm walking around the house at the moment with my new cane. Usually I only use it when I go out. But today I'm using it in because of this MRI thing and what it's done to my poor little hip.
Well, that was the
Um,
main reason we bought that stick, was in anticipation for the MRI.
yeah, well, no, I bought it because I'm unstable on my legs when I go out. Where I've been having these fainting spells and um, chronic fatigue, and obviously the problems with my hips and everything. When I walk down the road, I stumble a lot and I'm all over the place. So it's more to stabilise me, so that when I stumble, I've got something to grab onto to hold me up, rather than me stumble and nearly fall flat on my face. I haven't fallen over before, not yet, but the stick helps. I've noticed it helps keep me in a straight line. So instead of me being all over the place like down the road, the stick concentrates me in a way, if you know what I mean. It keeps me going in a straight line almost. It
Well,
stops me stumbling so much.
you say a straight line, but today in town you were all over the frickin' place. You were like a drunk driver. But then again, that was just trying to do what they call the high street
Yeah,
slalom, dodging people
yeah.
who want to walk through you.
Yeah, dodging the ignorant people who see you walking along and see you having difficulty, but decide they're going to make your day worse and just get in your way deliberately and then give you evil looks instead of moving out of your way. They love to do it when you're in a wheelchair. I mean, when I was in a wheelchair for my um, after my heart operation, going into town on that, I seem to have more people getting in my way and more people standing in my way and staring at me. And when I say, oh, excuse me, please, they just look at me and go, and then ignore me and carry on standing in the way, chatting to their friend. And it's like, what? I said, excuse me. So people like that now, I just barge through them. I'm like, nah,
You
you're going to
you
be rude to me, I'll be rude to you. Screw
uh,
you.
and also whilst you were in the wheelchair, I was pushing you, and half the time I would have to say to people like, I'd say excuse me, and then they would still stand there looking at me like
It's
I'm
like
so like I've ruined their day, and I'd be like I'm trying to get by, and then they like move like
they
half
don't
an inch.
realise they don't realise people that are using wheelchairs or even walking sticks or walkers or whatever, it's a lot harder for them because it takes a lot of energy for us, especially MAFs or anyone with a condition like Marfan syndrome or a fatigue condition or any condition like that that affects you in that way. It's harder for us, like even just walking a few steps. It's some days, on the worst days, it's like I've climbed a mountain, when I've just gone 5 minutes down to the shop,
Have you ever climbed a
you
mountain
know.
before?
Um, Not a big one like Everest, but the mountains in Wales,
Well, Snowden.
I think it's Snowdon or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think
But
you've. I don't. You think you've
not,
made it to the summit?
no, I think not the summit, but there's like foothills or something at the bottom, at the base,
Yeah.
and I kind of went up them. And on the Isle of Wight, I've gone up fucking massive hills and downs and, you know, all that type of stuff. So I haven't climbed a mountain per se, but to me, I
Yeah.
look at it as if that is me climbing a mountain.
Yeah, it's a
You
turn of
know?
a phrase. Turn of
Yeah,
phrase.
yeah. But again, it's like when you've got a cane or a wheelchair, going from A to B, right? Going straight is a lot easier. When you have to make adjustments and dodge people and you're like this, it wastes more energy. And people don't realise how difficult it is for us to do that. And so, you know, that's why it's like, instead of us wheeling around you and struggling, we just ask, you know, can you just move, part the waves for a second, let me through, you know? Then you can close the waves again and carry on with your little conversation in the middle of the shop doorway, you know? All you have to do is step aside for 2 seconds,
Yeah. Do you
you
know what I
know?
blame for that?
What?
I blame the benefit cheats,
Mm.
and I blame Little Britain. You know,
But
because that
it's
that guy in the wheelchair. Yeah, no. That's how they
but
view us.
it's very annoying, and I just, that's why I don't
Yeah.
like using my wheelchair anymore, because it's just dealing with ignorant people like that is actually very tiring as well, very draining, and it's just stressful and yeah.
So, what would you
But
say? What would you say was more stressful, ignorant people or today's MRI scan?
oh my god, I'd say ignorant people, because that's more of a constant. Whereas this MRI scan, yeah, is very stressful, very, very, very highly stressful. But it only lasted a couple of hours and it's over now and it's done. Ignorant people I have to deal with on a daily basis almost, you know?
Yeah, thanks for calling me ignorant.
No, but you know what I mean. I have to deal with ignorant people more often than I
Yeah.
have to have MRIs, you know?
Well,
So,
obviously.
because, you know, so I say ignorant people.
I only really asked that question to try and bring the subject back round to the MRI,
Yeah,
because
but
we've gone on a campaign of let's hurt the abled body.
um,
If you've got a wheelchair, attach spikes to the feet and run them into
yeah,
people.
we should put a plough on the front of our wheelchairs.
Yeah, put
So when we
kneecappers on
go
it.
to town, when we go into the shopping malls, we can just plough our way through. Just
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
Instead of being all over the place like my camera work is.
Oh, don't worry. But yeah, I am absolutely fucking knackered now. I'm drained. My hip is killing me, and my cat's trying to make me better by giving me cuddles and kisses. Ow, don't tread on there. No, no. You can lay next to me there. Thank you. Well,
Right,
yeah,
so
I'm tired now, achy, and I just want to have a cup of tea, put my Xbox on, and play some video games, and be lazy for the rest of the night. And then tomorrow I'm going to be lazy some more, and that. So yeah, it's my birthday in like 2 days, 28th.
yeah, it's the 28th.
Yeah.
So birthday wishes to her Facebook wall if you know it, if you want to. Just saying.
But I don't know what I'm doing for my birthday. I did want to go out to like the New Forest for the day and go to the Bewley museums and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'll be able to. So
Because today we've basically spent our money, so
yeah, next payday we'll have a day out, I think.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go now. But thanks for watching this video, all my YouTube subscribers. Please do subscribe if you see this video on Facebook. Check out my YouTube, subscribe, um, share the videos. You know, word about Marfan syndrome can only be spread if we spread it, you know, to the general public, and that, you know, awareness can only go far if we spread it far, kind of thing. I don't know. I'm not making sense. It's the anaesthetic.
Well, you are. You just made it sound like it was some kind of butter or something.
Yeah, we'll spread it like butter.
I can't believe it's not Marfan. Available in supermarkets near you.
Ow! You're a bully.
Right. Well,
Lay down.
should we end the video there?
Yeah.
On then. Say bye-bye to your fans.
Bye bye.